Here we go, guys, and down to the bottom left-hand corner of the map, Cloud Kingdom, we have our red Protoss player from FX Open Esports. Winner of game number 1, it is Choya. And his barcoded opponent in the top right-hand corner, our green Zerg player from Acer. Second of what are likely to be many Zerg players, it is DarkHydra.
Yeah, so obviously this is a very good map for Blink Stalkers because of how open the base is, how you can get yourself into what's basically become the equivalent of the Tal'Darim Nook on Cloud Kingdom. But it is also very interesting once the Zerg goes up to 3 base, because then you get that little game between which path am I going to go up? Am I going to go up this path into the natural, or am I going to go into the left path into the 3rd base? And both are very, very wide choke points. And then there is the not-so-secret hallway up on the very top that you can go through as well. So this becomes a very, very interesting map once it gets up to 3 bases on both sides.
I really enjoy it. I will admit that I had my doubts at the beginning because I thought it would become too aggressive of a map in the current metagame with all of the cliff line that's sitting there. But honestly, it's become one of my absolute favorites. Even when you do kind of anticipate a little bit of aggression, especially when you have mirror matches, PvP and TVT specifically can get pretty aggressive on this map. But this has really turned into a tournament mainstay and one of the more balanced maps out there.
I was tweeting a little bit, asking some pro players their opinions on maps, and by far the biggest response were that Cloud Kingdom, Ohana, and Daybreak are their 3 favorite maps by virtually all professional players. And Cloud Kingdom, really, I think thanks to the now retired Super Uman, one of the greatest maps we've ever seen in StarCraft 2.
And I have to say, those 3 maps are amazing. Ohana is actually probably my favorite map at the moment. I really enjoyed that. That's a lot of spam.
Okay, and it's working.
Yeah, there you go. APM currently for both players quite high. DarkHydra, a very high APM player, playing at almost an average of 300 over the course of the game. Of course, at that exact moment, he had alt-tabbed away and was looking at something else because he was at 0 APM for about 10 seconds or so. Thanks, DarkHydra.
So Choya, again, 17 Nexus. Not for, ooh, wow, he pulled all his drones offline trying to get rid of that probe. But 17, did he?
Boom.
Wow, he still didn't put the hatchery down. 17 Nexus for Choya going into Forge, pretty standard, but DarkHydra's hatch very, very late. And I'm curious as how quickly he's going to try to go up to 3rd base to 3 base to compensate for that.
You know, it looks like he was planning to put it down about 10 seconds beforehand, but then kept the drone alive so we could snag the probe kill guaranteed. But we'll see if that pays off for him. I mean, it's nice to deny your opponent information. It may be worth the 10 or 15-second delay on the hatch in order to get that done. Wow,
he's really focusing on scouting now. Takes the watchtowers, doesn't even really, go to the front because he knows what's there, and he's just kind of scouting around with the Zerglings, hunting the probe. He found one. He wants to deny the scout information. The probe sees there's no. Oh, wow. Very smart by DarkHydra. He lets the probe go by before putting the 3rd base. So now he actually sees that it's a 2-base build in his mind. And if he gets this probe before he sees it, that's going to be a pretty good advantage going into the mid game. I'm
sure Choya will go back and check at some point. But as we know, Choya had a really weird build against him last time. You know, revolved around putting down that gate really, really inside of his natural. So he's going to need to keep good tabs on what his opponent is doing. And as we can see, once again, an unconventional build. Usually it's about 30 or 35 drones that are produced before you move up into double gas. Then from there, you build up to about 45, go after your Roach Warren, Layer, etc., etc. Those look like Choya does pick up on it. You know, but that's usually the order of things. DarkHydra, though, is going to go for a very early speed.
Yeah, they subscribe by a different playbook from the looks of it from the Acer Zergs. Very similar to build to last game, and we'll have to see if it's the... I very much doubt it's going to be Hydras from DarkHydra, but...
That would be fitting.
But I think... probably going to have a little bit more standard build. Mutas are not that rare on this map, but I'd be very surprised to see it, quite honestly.
I've actually not seen a Zerg game from DarkHydra yet. I've seen plenty of his Terran games, but I've not seen him play Zerg yet.
Oh, that's a pretty quick Twilight Council out of Choya, actually. You think that's Twilight after only 1 gateway, so that could either be a quick blink timing push or possibly DTs. From the position that it's hidden in, it makes me want to think DTs. But we'll have to see.
He does only have 2 gas down. These 2 gas are coming up at a relatively normal, slightly late time, especially with just 1 gas being placed. So if he goes for it, he's not going to have the most DTs available, but he still could make it work. And there is the Dark Shrine.
Yeah,
so
DT expand. And I'm guessing saw this last week when I was casting with Ash Joshi. but it's very, very smart for Protoss users to get DTs out to kind of contain Zerg so that you can get your third base up before they can really put a lot of pressure on you.
Yep.
And it looks like that's what Choya is going for. 3 more gateways coming up, so not the 6-gate type of thing. So it looks like he is planning on going to a later game with this, just using the DTs to secure his third.
There's +1 Carapace coming up for DarkHydra at the moment, but that's, of course, being countered by the fact that we already have +1 weapons in production for Choya, so the DTs will still be able to cleave through workers in 1 hit. It'll make them very, very effective. Forward pylon is down. He's built up enough gas for just 2 DTs at the moment, so we'll certainly want at least a third when he goes forward with this.
Yeah, is there an evolution chamber for DarkHydra? Yes, there is an evolution chamber. He hasn't built spores quite yet. Bailing Nest coming up. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But the lair is not going to finish before the Dark Shrine does, so it looks like he is going to have DTs on the field with no possible detection for DarkHydra.
Okay, well, that Dark Shrine is just finished up now.
And Warp Gate at the same time with those gateways perfectly timed, and 4 DTs. And I'm guessing if he is smart, going to send these 1 at least to each base to do damage.
Oh, I imagine. Let's see here, though. The as we mentioned, the Evolution Chamber is done, but Lair Tech is not. So, DarkHydra should be able to pick up on this now.
Yeah, he definitely saw it with those lings with, images running into them. So he sends 1 to the third, 2 to the natural snipe. This one going for drones, the other one trying to snipe the natural, and I think that they might get it.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a dead natural, and unfortunately, it's a lot of dead workers at the same time as well. So Choya's done a really nice job of this.
I don't think that Spore is going to finish in time. That DT is going to kill it. Oh, and he's sending the rest of the DTs over here to take down the Spore, and he might snag the third base as well.
It looks like he's just going to try and DPS it down right now. Ground weapons level 1 just finishing up in 2 seconds, so he will be able to move in and do additional damage here.
He's going to need transfuses on this hatchery to save it, I think. Oh, now the Ling's coming in. Good transfuse to get it, but it's so close.
Oh, he kills 2 hatcheries. He killed 2 hatcheries with DTs, and DarkHydra's on 1 base. That is devastating. He has a Bailing Nest down, so maybe he's going to try a big bust here in a second, but his position is so weak.
And there it is. There's the third secured, and DarkHydra picking up on the strategy too late. No, it was not an all-in DarkHydra. He was just getting his third, and DarkHydra now miles behind.
And this is exactly what I expected. This is a kind of a last-ditch attempt here by DarkHydra. Push as many Bailings as he can up at the front. You can see he's trying to take bases back at home with additional upgrades, but he has to kill at the very least this third. And if he can't do that, it's done. Yeah,
he has got to kill at least 1 base or probably about 20 workers in order to come back in this game.
Nice job keeping the Bailings at the back, so they do eventually have to go through these structures. Look at the force fields around the side as well. He keeps everything alive.
Those were amazing force fields in both the main end and cutting them off there. He's trying to make his way to the third. The sentries don't have a lot of energy left, but they have enough. More great force fields. DarkHydra having to run back, tail between his legs. I don't know if he's going to be able to get through here either.
Nope. And unfortunately for him, things are just looking disastrous. He's back by 35 supply. Choya keeping up his performance from last week, winning 4-kill complexity, and looking like he is poised to take a second victory in this set.
Yeah, he's really trying to redeem himself after the GSTL fiasco in the last season where he put himself in. But he has played great so far in IPTL. FXO really firing on all cylinders so far in IPTL after what I'm sure they would say was a disappointing IPLT AC3.
Yeah, I agree. But obviously FXO and Team Leagues are they are kind of synonymous at the moment with their performance in GSTL, with how well they're performing here. In addition, I don't think anyone can count them out of any potential team event.
Yeah, so DarkHydra going up to Infestation Pit for Infestors. This is going to be too late, though. He doesn't have energy for all these Stalkers. Roach Warren coming up, that's not going to be done in time, so he has nothing but Lings and Bailings to try to fight off this push, and that is a lot of Stalkers and a lot of Sentries.
Yes, it is. And just a couple of units here, and this is going to be fine. Changelings trying to get in on the action as well. All of the Bailings are zoned out, so the Lings up at the front were immediately destroyed by these +2 Stalkers. And look at that. The Stalker actually just tanked about 10 Bailings or so. And that is just disastrous for DarkHydra.
Yeah, the Sentries don't have a lot of energy left. They have enough again. There's great force fields, good point control by Choya. Almost no Zerglings left. The Queens are going to start going down now. still no infestors out for DarkHydra, and I don't think he's going to be able to fight this one off. GG.
There it is. GG, and Choya has taken 2 games in a row for FXO. What a great performance out of him so far.
A really good start. Once again, Choya